everyone, it's GT time. I'm your moderator, Kyle Bossman, and joining us, as always, is our uniquely talented and knowledgeable panel, including Brandon Jones.
Good morning.
Daniel Bloodworth.
Good morning.
In the super seat this week, Matt Blair.
Hello again.
And making this all happen in the booth, Ian Hink.
Hi.
It's funny you say good morning. It's good morning for us. But
Right.
I think most people don't watch this in the morning.
I say good morning to you. Good morning,
okay.
Kyle.
There are people
Absolutely.
that do the coffee. Yeah.
Yeah. I imagine it as a morning
Listen
show.
to it on the way to work.
Yeah. I hope we're some morning drives. Blair, you are in the super seat this
Yeah.
week. We have a very important question for you.
As always.
We're giving you force powers.
Good.
You're getting force powers.
Okay.
But you also have to choose someone else on this planet who will also get force powers. Who do you choose?
That's a good one. The easy answer would be like my brother. Because, as kids growing up, you do the lightsaber battles with like the little tubes within wrapping paper or whatever, so.
Yeah, but these will be real.
Yeah. So that just makes it better. I mean, it's a natural progression, right? We trained together as kids.
Yeah. Wait, so did you actually, you and your brother growing up would play around and do imaginary stuff?
Totally. Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people could relate to that. I mean, isn't that the first thing you do with an empty tube of wrapping paper or something? You just sword, lightsaber,
or a
whatever.
full tube of wrapping paper.
Or whatever. Or a wiffle bat. We used
Right.
the wiffle bats. We graduated after a while, moved on to more dangerous weapons.
I grew up with a sister, though, who's not going to tolerate that kind of nonsense. So I think it's pretty interesting, that you have proper training.
Older or younger?
Older sister.
Older sister?
Yeah.
Okay.
I also think it's interesting. It's like we all see each other every day. It's like, oh yeah, Matt. Oh, Matt has a brother.
Yeah.
That's true.
Kyle has a sister.
Now we have some perspective on
Yeah.
Blair.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got a brother. Brad also chose his brother.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Can you see yourself fighting your brother, though? Like, you both have force powers.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
are
I'd
you gonna
fall
be
to the
friendly?
dark side immediately. Yeah.
And who would win, then? Would you beat your brother in, a force battles match?
Spoilers.
Yeah, all right. Wait for the whole thing to play out. Okay, cool. Thank you, Blair.
Yeah.
Let's move on to corrections. We have a whole chunk of corrections this week, so begin corrections music, please. T. O'Keefe 9 is alive. Happy to say.
Good.
Okay, the Fox t-shirt that Brandon was referring to is Fox Racing. It's just called Fox now. Brandon, I'm so mad you thought that had anything to do with Metal Gear Solid. I'm furious, dude.
It really doesn't
It was
look
a
like
fox.
anything.
I think like on what? I think I saw a picture of a fox, and someone
Yeah.
had a T-shirt underneath that said Fox, and I was
Yeah.
like, oh, I wonder if that's because I knew Fox had I knew that had different. There were different versions of that,
Yeah, but it doesn't look anything like anything in Metal Gear Solid.
but it didn't say anything else. I never saw a T-shirt of that had a motorcycle on it, that said sports, that had
No,
a
they usually
website,
don't,
that
though.
had anything. It was just that.
I mean,
so it's
to
like
Kyle's-
I don't know what that is, and this is before Google image search. Like I couldn't.
Yeah.
I couldn't
Oh,
even
this was
describe
a-
it. I was like, no, it's literally just a simple outline of the face. And you were like, oh, is it the one that was on the MSX? Like, no, it's not. Like, that's clearly elaborate. That's clearly a cartoon. There's it was tough to know what it was. I think that was the thing.
For
I guess so,
context.
yeah.
Sorry, for context.
Sure.
If you didn't watch the episode, this is a story you told about back in the day, not
Yeah.
last week you saw a Fox
No.
logo.
This confusion was lasting up until last week. Last week, Brandon said, that Fox logo from Metal Gear Solid.
But if you had asked me last week if that was indeed Metal Gear, I'd say it's probably not. I just don't know what it is.
No,
Where the
we-
first time I saw it, I was like, I think that's a
my
Metal
God.
Gear thing.
It
And then
makes me so
as I continued to see it, I thought less and less that it was Metal Gear, because it would say like Konami in the corner of the T-shirt or something.
The dog from Fox and the Hound is a bloodhound. The old Kojima Productions logo is based off the Fox unit, not the Fox Hound unit.
Got it?
A lot of people tried to recorrect my pronunciation of Baba Yaga. So I said Yaga First I said Baba Yaga, and people are like, no, that's wrong. It's Yaga. I say Yaga, and people are like, no, that's wrong. It's Yaga.
It's the internet.
I'm pretty sure it's a regional thing.
It's very regional. Let's just end it at that. They say Yaga in John Wick, so that will be our official pronunciation from now on. We don't want any more corrections about Yaga. Don't
John
do
Wick
it.
is canon.
Yeah, John Wick is official canon of GT time. The podcast has been broken on iTunes because we can't find the exports. They're coming.
That's
A lot of people are just like, why is this broken? That's all I can say for now. We don't know.
some stuff happened, and then some things are gonna happen.
Yes. Unreal 3 was created in 2004. The first console game to use it is Unreal Tournament 3, which was around 2007. You know why I think I said it was short-lived? Because I think for a super long time, we just said, oh yeah, it's on Unreal Engine. I don't think we said Unreal 3, and now we have to because there is 3 and 4, and I think that's where that confusion came from.
Yeah.
I said
Well,
Unreal
the
3
funny
was
thing is
short-lived,
like
which is so
I
incorrect.
said right away. There's like, no, that was the whole last gen.
Yeah.
But then like I'm so accommodating that like when you questioned that, I was like, then I was suddenly not sure of myself, even though I played so many Unreal 3 games.
Do not accommodate me, Blood. Throw your foot down, dude. Yeah. And I guess once 4 becomes more accepted, we won't say 4 every time. We'll just say Unreal. But yeah.
4 is highly accepted already.
Yeah.
Yes.
There
absolutely.
are so many games
But
already
it's
being built on it.
it's
Dragon
not
Quest.
as prevalent as 3 was.
Yeah. And even
True. Yeah.
3, like games are still being made in 3, which is cool. So
A lot of indies in 4 now too. Like it's more accessible than ever.
Big correction. We'll call this correction of the week. This is from Galaxy 40K. Ori Definitive Edition was announced in August 2015. In this edition, Moon Studios is incorporating fan feedback to alter bits of the game, such as by making you able to return to the overworld to continue exploring for 100% completion. That's a big deal.
Yeah.
It also contains new areas with new artwork, new abilities. It will be offered for a marginal upgrade cost for those who already own the game. That's also cool. And correction music. We didn't know where that came from, so that was kind of interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. Somehow I totally missed that.
Also weird. Also just like, hey, we're gonna fix a bunch of stuff about our game called. It is the definitive version of that game. We kind of made fun of that, but it seems like they.
It just feels funny that like they need to put out a new edition rather than just here's a patch. You can go
Right,
back to the
yeah.
overworld. Yeah.
It's
Sure.
why would you buy the original in any case? You know.
Right.
So if it's that, then it's not really like a preference or like an HD remaster or something.
By the way, did you see the thing that Nintendo did with Bayonetta this week?
Yes, let's get into it.
Yeah. So
corrections?
Bayonetta 2.
Oh yeah, they're over.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Bayonetta 2, originally you bought it as a bundle with the original Bayonetta, and now like they're actually just putting Bayonetta 2 out standalone for the $30.
$30 for Bayonetta 2. That's unusual of Nintendo, I would say.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. You know, Nintendo publishes this game, that's going to be 50 forever, and then they're saying 30. The tweet was what? Get familiar with her before you play as her in Smash? Like, all right, man. Okay. We're just
Classy,
selling
Nintendo,
this.
classy.
And one last thing before we move on, I do want to talk about Brandon's mug. Got some comments about this. One, there's a funniest comment. It was just like, it's the perfect hybrid of elegance and manliness.
It should be a GT Time mug. I have 2 GT Time mugs. They're both on my desk because we're now working in another building that's different than this building. So that would just involve me like bringing it to my car and then taking it in Thursday morning, and I always forget to do it. So.
For listeners, it's like a chalice. It's like a carved wooden chalice.
It is made out of entirely of wood. This was not stained in any way. This is all the actual color of each of the wood pieces.
It's like 8 inches tall. It's got a huge handle.
It makes noise.
It makes a fart noise if you turn it like that on the table.
It's a feature, and Brandon just looks cool drinking out of it.
Yep.
Brandon,
Good for smoothies, good for beer,
If a
good for
person-
water, good for coffee.
have you had all those liquids out of this?
Many times. Yeah.
And if viewers want a mug as cool as yours, how would they get one?
Go to the Renaissance Fair in Southern California. I think the company there's Ren fairs all over the place, so I think they travel a lot. But there was nothing like it. I mean, like if you like this mug, if you go to a Ren fair, look around for a stand that I likened it to the end of Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade when he's picking the Grail. There's just like rows of all these different types of mugs, and not cheap, but worth it. I remember when I got it, I was like, everything at the Ren Fair is way overpriced, and I was like, oh god, am I spending this much on a mug? And like, I use it every single day, so
pretty confident that
Stoked on it.
if they don't sell on Etsy, you could find something comparable by just searching wooden mug or something like that. You know.
Sure. I mean, the thing that's great about this company, like I said, is there's no stain. They made it. You know, it's different. Like there wasn't one that looked anything like this.
That's the only mug.
There
that
are many
Brandon
like
loves.
it, but this one is mine.
Certainly, it has like polyurethane on it or
It's
something.
Oh, sure.
treated
Yeah,
in
just
some
the
fashion,
color though isn't
How
treated.
do you clean it?
I just hand wash.
You don't put that in the machine.
But it's all liquid, so just it's not washing it is not very intense unless
It's
I
all
like
liquid.
unless I leave it in the car and then I get crusty smoothie on day 2. Like
Crusty smoothie.
gonna let that soak for a little bit. And then, now I can't bring my GT Time mug. Now I got to use this mug every time.
That segment was way worth it. I'm
This
so glad
mug
we had that
performs
segment.
better on the show than I do.
Wait, what does that mean?
It does have a higher score.
It does have a higher score.
Yeah. It'll end the year on top. Look out, Super Seed. Here comes my mug.
Okay, so my favorite things to do on the show are like game announcements. Big news, bad news. We don't have a lot of big news this week. I'll be honest. We have like lots of things to talk about though. So that's basically how we'll try to frame these discussions. Because this week's biggest story, I think, I don't know if you all agree with me. Amazon Prime announced that you get 20% off new games and pre-orders. If you have Amazon Prime, any physical disc you buy, 20% off. Pre-order, and for the first 2 weeks, if that game is new, you also get that 20% off.
So confirmed, not digital code purchase.
No code purchases.
Right.
Yep. That is.
And this isn't a limited time thing?
No.
I don't
That's it,
understand
man.
this. That's like their entire cut.
It seems crazy,
more.
right? Yes. Yeah. Amazon is going insane to get you to be faithful to them.
That's the funny thing is how much money are they already losing-ish on giving you free shipping, because that's a Prime thing. 2-day or
Yeah.
release day free shipping for physical media.
Well, you pay for that.
Yeah. So
You
what?
do.
Amazon Prime is $100 a year still, or is it
80,
more
I
than
think.
that?
It started 80, but it's up to 100, I think, now.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
And
Yeah, they
if
bumped
it's
up
higher
the price.
corrections
Because here's
can
the
handle
thing,
that.
like, people who don't have things shipped to them every day, like me and Omar, are paying for people like me and Omar.
All right. So let me figure this out. Everybody in the room, are you on Amazon Prime? So it sounds like Ian is.
Absolutely. Amazon
Yeah.
Prime
Yes.
is the best.
Blair, you are.
Yep.
Blood.
No, I did a trial so I could get my parts for my PC, but
And then you were set. You were like,
Yeah.
I'm
You
good.
fiend!
So I like
Taking
that.
advantage.
Dude, get this. Amazon Prime now,
Yeah.
2 hours free delivery. 2 hours.
And you know
Or
they're
you
gonna, and
pay-
you know they're gonna.
I mean,
Or you
they're
pay
gonna invent like
$8,
portals or
Or
something.
you pay
Like,
$8 for 1 hour. We can order things at our house without paying the $8. 20 minutes. Gets
That's
there
ridiculous.
in 20 minutes.
That's too weird, dude.
Faster than
Now,
going to the
in,
store.
in Los Angeles and most
Yeah,
crazy metropolitan
obviously.
areas where they focus on, yes, but like, 90% of the United States probably can't say the same thing, but maybe someday.
Well, duh.
So is that
I'm just saying it's
Right,
sweet
right.
for me.
is that the
Yeah.
weird thing where it's
And that's
it's
all I
almost like
care
Uber?
about.
It's where somebody will just pick up the package and
Mm-hmm.
take it over to you. It's that
yeah,
that
it's
cool
like
thing.
it's like Google Express where you buy a hipster slave for like an hour, and then they like go
Yeah.
to Target for you.
I don't like that phrase.
They
and
know
those
what
people-
job they
there's-
signed
yeah,
up
there's
for.
a This American Life or Radio Lab episode about just those warehouses and how those operate, and
Yeah.
like people just running around getting like
It sounds like a
like
nightmare.
iPad covers and dildos and just like throwing them in a crate and shipping them.
So here's the thing: we have 3 people with Amazon Prime. Do you have any incentive to buy your video games anywhere else? You're
I buy
buying a
all
new
my-
video game right now.
I buy all my video games on PlayStation Network because then I don't have to get off the couch.
That
The digital is handy for that, but also if you do remote play at all, then you can swap between some games without needing to be home and swapping the disc or whatever.
Yeah.
Sure, but I mean, will you ever go to Target? Will you ever go to Best Buy? Will you ever go to GameStop?
I haven't been doing that at all.
Yeah, I mean,
since it's either Prime or
Never
PSN or
again.
well, yeah, I prefer to go to, places like Next Gen or Gameplay,
Yeah.
like you've been at Next Gen, right?
Yes.
That place is cool.
You should inform our listeners and viewers though what those places are.
Yeah, they're local stores here.
Brick and mortars.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
like
Next Gen
Gameplay,
has a lot
like
of Netrunner cards.
they'll Gameplay will actually contact me and let me know when they've got stuff coming in that they think
that's
I'm
like walking
interested
distance, right? Next gen down the street.
in. Next Gen is
Yeah.
walking distance,
Yeah.
yeah. And Next Gen is cool because like they do a mix. Like they have a lot of video games, including, and both stores have a lot of retro stuff. But Next Gen has a lot of tabletop stuff as well, and so they actually have tables in there that like you more or less like sign up for.
Oh yeah, they got game nights and
yeah,
stuff.
it's
Yeah.
a game store.
Perfect.
It's a good game store.
Good game store. I like that kind of thing. And
Diversify.
so that's really interesting. That's what Amazon can't compete against is our sentiment
It's that
toward these.
sweaty smell. They can't replicate that.
Well, those warehouses are probably
Well,
no
that's true. They
picnic.
probably smell really. They have that weird like sour cardboard box smell,
Yeah.
probably.
Uh,
Dude, wait,
what?
real quick.
Okay.
Omar got real into shoes, and so he ordered all these plastic cases to hold all his shoes.
All right, you got to tell us who Omar is.
My roommate, and
He's been around.
people know who Omar is.
Yeah. I like to There is someone who is listening to this podcast for the first time right now.
Omar de Armas.
It's that guy with that Cuban Super Nintendo stealing mother.
Oh God.
Everybody, he's
Public
he's
enemy number one.
Sad about that, by the way. He's like, everyone at
know.
Game Trailers hates me now.
I feel like it's our fault for putting it
We
number
don't
one.
hate Omar. We just hate his mom.
Actually, it's Brandon's fault for making it number one. I would
yeah.
say.
Yeah.
If it wasn't number one, I think it'd still be a cute story.
I'm holding my ground.
But anyway, he bought all these plastic boxes for his shoes.
Yes.
And they don't collapse. And he says to me, they're coming in boxes of 6. And these things, they're like shoebox size, right? And 6 of them in a box. And he's like, I don't know what the mail people are going to do. The next day, he sends me a photograph. They stacked all the boxes at the top of our staircase, completely blocking our door and the neighbor's door. The entire end of the hallway was just boxes.
But they did what they had to do.
It was amazing.
They just.
I saw that on Facebook. At least they were light,
Yeah, it was so funny.
Okay, so this move from Amazon Prime, though, it seems aggressive. It seems like they're probably, like Ian said, that's their entire cut. Was that Ian who said that?
No, I haven't saying
Blair.
that.
Okay.
somebody.
Okay. Blood. Great.
One of
Great
the
comment.
Bs.
This seems like they're attacking. To me, I know it seems like at the table, Best Buy is irrelevant and Walmart is relevant, but I think globally that's not the case.
They're not irrelevant because they sell Disney Infinity figures, okay?
Yeah, I mean.
Okay, so let's talk
Over
Disney Infinity.
Christmas,
Yeah.
I mean, basically.
Yeah, I don't know if they're included. Are
It's
merchandise
a
included
direct
too? Or?
response to them because Best
Yeah.
Buy did something like this first. Although
Yeah.
I think it
Yeah,
was
Best
only
Buy-
pre-orders.
No,
and
Best
only
Buy
when you
has
pay
a
full.
thing. It's called like. My friend was just telling me about it like literally yesterday. It's like a game club where if you pay, it's like something.
It's like
not,
GameStop.
Not a lot. It's
yeah,
like
it's
$10
like-
a year, but you get 20% off every pre-order.
Right.
Or whatever.
Yeah.
It's basically the same deal, but.
I think
with
you're right,
Best
Blair.
Buy.
I think it's a direct response
But
to
you
Best
pay
Buy.
for
I
it.
think
It has to be because the Amazon has had a culture of price matching over the last probably 10 years. But I mean, there's so many people that will go to the store and say, well, this is $10 less on Amazon, and people in the brick and mortars are challenged to match it.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's
So
it
Amazon
scares me.
can't, like, their whole strategy kind of fails if they don't immediately match what's going on elsewhere.
Yeah, honestly, I think this is a really big deal. I know that a lot of us will continue to buy our games digitally, but I think this will affect the way that we look at video game prices. I honestly think it's that big of a deal. I know Amazon Prime itself is expensive. It's hard to put down $100 a year. Blood and I aren't doing it. But I think, like, at this point next year, we will look at $60 video games differently because of Amazon Prime.
Well,
here.
you also have to consider that Prime offers all that other junk. Like,
Yeah, the
streaming
movies.
music, streaming
Yeah.
video, all the things that I use it for.
Yeah.
2-day shipping, I'm already getting my money's worth because it's a lot easier than sitting in LA traffic at the end of the day to go to the store to get a pack of socks when I can have it show up later this week or tomorrow
So even
or
socks.
in 2 hours.
So you'll have Amazon socks come in.
It's kind of that one of those things where it's whatever I can, you know, because they price match everything they possibly can.
Like one thing that my wife bought one time, I was like, wow, that's crazy. I never thought to buy those online. Batteries. Like we just needed AA batteries. And she was at the computer. She was literally just like, click, done. Like it's super, super cost effective. It's going to be here tomorrow.
Dude.
Let me ask you something else.
Dude.
Oh yeah, that's pretty great.
Dude, Amazon Dash buttons.
Yeah, those things are insane.
I don't know what Amazon Dash buttons are.
It's a physical, real-life button tied to, I think, your phone via Wi-Fi in your house.
just
And
the
they're
Wi-Fi.
Okay,
Yeah.
and they're for certain products like Tide or toilet paper or dog food or dog treats, whatever. Things that you reorder, you just push the button.
How big is the button?
Like, about the length of your thumb and about 30% wider.
And what, do I just put it on my cabinets?
It's just wherever. It's by your washing machine or whatever. You're like,
Double-sided
I'm
tape,
out of,
stick it up above your
I wouldn't
refrigerator,
be surprised
whatever.
if it has sticky on its back. I don't know.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, you put the Tide one on your washing machine. You're like, oh, I'm out of Tide. Click. Amazon brings you Tide.
Wow.
Wow. All right. So
Future.
Despite my best efforts to make this conversation about video games, it seems we failed.
I always think about the Seventh Day with Schwarzenegger, where he like closes the door to the fridge and the fridge can just tell he's out of milk. It's like, oh, the milk's gone. Like you didn't put the milk back in the fridge when
We
you
have
closed
fridges
it.
already that do that.
Like ordering milk. Confirm? And he's just like, yep.
Yes. There are fridges
Yes.
that do that.
There are.
We live in the future.
yeah, I guess we should have assumed that. Oh man, it's gonna be like, oh, you finished Dark Souls 2. Shall I order Dark Souls 3? What's up?
Quick question.
Yes.
Who do you think eventually will be the first to have like a genuine partnership with Amazon? PlayStation or Xbox?
What kind of partnership are you imagining?
I don't know,
Here we
but
go.
I
I'm
feel
interested in
like
this player.
these are the kind of moves that they make, right? I feel like the next step is kind of there somewhere. When Amazon wants to tap into that digital market somehow, but they're never going to do it through the publishers, and then maybe you go for hardware.
Yeah, that is interesting because it seemed like Amazon was going to make their own console for a while, their own video game console, and
Well,
do
they-
games seriously.
They technically did
Yeah.
and still have it, yeah.
The
but
Apple Fire TV came out.
Amazon Fire TV.
Amazon Fire TV,
Yeah.
of course, and obviously, like it didn't set the world on fire.
No.
Stupid. But you know,
You
the
did it.
the games didn't pop. You know what I mean? They didn't get a reputation, and they made a lot of, I think, original games exclusive to
I
that
don't think
console.
it's gone away.
Yeah, it hasn't gone away, but it hasn't taken off. I
Right.
would say. And
I'm not sure it needs to do much more than it already has, though. Like, I think they'd have to come up with new hardware for it to get any better than it is.
Yeah, I think they would. Amazon wants more, and so I think almost instead of coming up with their own hardware, they should do a partnership.
I mean, at the very least, you see a lot of stuff where it's like you're on a different website, but you can pay with Amazon.
Yeah.
And it's like most people just have like a credit card or something associated. So you're paying with your credit card, but hey, you just log into Amazon instead
The
of
streaming
entering your
features
info.
are on the console, so they have apps.
The apps are on there, yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean like genuine business partnership instead of just kind of being featured.
I mean, I think
there.
they like having their hardware though, because that's a sale that they can make, and then the cheaper Kindles run ads for like other stuff. So
Right.
like it's like a no-brainer. Also,
Also-
they have the kids Kindle that has like Nerf foam around it, and if you break it, if the kids break it for any reason, they'll just send you a new one. It's amazing.
The thing is, I think that Sony has less incentive to do that partner. Like, do you know how excited Sony was when they heard Ian say, "I'd download all my games digitally"? They got so stoked because they're doing it all through that store. You know what I mean? Like, for them,
And they're gouging me.
they're gouging.
They're gouging me,
You're
and
getting
there's
gouged,
no
dude.
refunds. I'm getting gouged, but I don't even care.
He doesn't
I'm like,
care.
hey, I don't have to put a disc in the thing, and it loads like.
my
I love how
second
not getting a
fast.
deal now equals gouged.
yeah.
You're right.
Yeah, that's what Steam
But
has
Blood,
done.
that's exactly
Yeah,
what's
that's true.
happening. And because of Steam, because of Amazon, like if you don't get a deal, you're wasting your money spending full price on a video game. That's incredible. You know what? This is kind of related. Let's talk about EA Access. This
Oh,
is
yeah.
coming to PC, or has come to PC. You can do this now. EA Access, reminder, is the Xbox exclusive, I don't know, privilege.
But they're calling it Origin Access.
Is
on
it
the
called
PC.
Origin Access?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is $5 a month. Here's what you get. You get access to the Vault, which includes all of the recent Battlefield games, all the Dead Spaces, all the Dragon Ages, FIFA, Need for Speed Rivals, Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare, The Sims 3 Starter Pack, Sim City, and This War of Mine.
Wait, no NHL 09?
No NHLs whatsoever,
deal.
which is interesting because you would get an NHL game on Xbox One. So they have different...
That it is a little weird, but it's
yeah.
funny that they're not even on PC, but yet they still sell.
Is FIFA
low
the biggest?
names.
Is FIFA bigger than Madden?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Worldwide, yes.
Yes.
Cool.
That question wasn't the same.
So
to
there's
people.
that. I mean, that's cool. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's their biggest.
Play first trials. Those are the things where you get to play a game like a week early. The one they're advertising now is that you can play the first 2 levels of Unravel for up to 10 hours in early February. Isn't that weird?
That's a weird one, yeah.
Yeah, it
Like
doesn't
Battlefront for 2 hours, that
makes
makes
total
sense.
sense. Yeah. But then like I don't want to play the first 2 levels of Unravel for 10 hours.
I mean, when they build the framework, I guess, like, why would you want to build it multiple ways? Just give them 2 hours.
yeah. Well, I think it's give them 2 levels is really
Like
the-
mid
yeah.
jump.
Yeah, well,
That's cool.
And then, of course, 10% off all Origin purchases. Again, that's $5 a month. You cannot do a big bulk deal like you can on the Xbox One. I don't know why that discrepancy is there either. So anyway, that's there now. EA Access on Xbox One, on PC. Big deals on EA games. Eventually, if you buy enough EA games, that $5 a month becomes worth it. And if you buy enough DLC, it becomes worth it. So that's what's happening right now. I guess I had a couple questions for the panel. The first play thing is really interesting to me because when Battlefront came out, Xbox One heavily advertised you can play this first on Xbox One. There's going to be some huge EA games coming out this year, like Mass Effect, like Amy Hennig's Star Wars game, maybe. Those are going to be, hey, play it first if you have EA Access. That's going to...
I guarantee neither of those games coming out this year.
Yeah, certainly not the Star Wars game.
well, point
Or we'll be
remains.
lucky if that gets announced this year.
Oh my gosh.
Just real quick.
Are we ready? Oh, what? You want to do some side bets?
I bet you that those 2 games don't come out.
All right, let's do Mass Effect first.
All right.
Mass Effect Andromeda coming out this year.
I disagree.
Unlikely.
Yeah.
You can say unlikely all you want. It's coming out this year.
Not
Nice.
a chance.
No, it isn't.
Oh my God.
No chance in heck.
All right, Ian, here's the deal. If I win, I get to design your character. If you win, you get to design my character in Mass Effect Andromeda.
Oh my God, you monster.
Yep.
Do I have to play the whole game?
Yes, you have to play the whole game.
Can he,
as
at
my
least,
character
can
for
he
you.
at least choose his gender?
Yeah.
You can choose your gender.
Literally, if
no,
you make me a man,
Kyle.
I just
I
will
know.
not
Bring the
play
hammer
that game.
down.
I know.
I just won't play that game. You're gonna make me so ugly.
No, I won't. I'll make you.
I would make you pretty.
I'm not gonna make you intentionally ugly. I'll still make the character like reasonably attractive. I don't like to go like too pretty.
I mean, yeah, I usually go for like, here's the real me. That's the kind of thing I go for. Fine, deal.
Okay.
I bet you.
All right.
Yes.
cool.
Lock it in. Okay.
Lock it in.
All right.
Gotta remember that one.
Yeah.
We need
I-
to.
you
Now
didn't-
that
you didn't
makes
lock
me,
it in.
that brings up a question for me though, right? Because like everyone's been a fan of, the Jennifer Hale Shepherd.
Yeah.
Like it would make sense. It would not make sense for her to come back.
No, she's gone. Maybe she'll
You'd
be in
have
like
to have a
audio
different-
logs
have
or
to have a
something.
different
but-
actor, yeah.
Yeah. Blair wants us to lock that one in. So Ian, I'm gonna lock in that side bet. Okay. All right. Here we go. There it is. Okay. So, gosh, we get off track. I get so excited about bets. Anyway,
Second bet.
Yeah. What
Star
about
Wars?
Star Wars?
Yeah, Andromeda possibly could happen this year.
Yeah,
no way in
No
hell.
chance in hell.
you're right.
That
I'm
Star
not,
Wars game is
honestly,
coming
I
out
don't
this
feel
year.
good about that one. But we're doing the scenario,
Right.
okay? Let's say, I
Yeah.
mean, you get to play that game early if
Yeah.
you're paying for EA Access, which is $5 a month. I would pay it for that 1 month. You know what I mean? Basically, it's come from exclusive
Wait.
to Xbox One.
Can you though? Is $5 a month if you pay for a year?
No, you can just buy $5.
It's always $5
Yeah.
like a cable
So
bill.
you can
or
pay
something.
for a beta basically.
Yeah, you can pay for a beta, basically. Yeah, exactly, Blood. It's gone from something that's exclusive to Xbox One to now something that PlayStation 4 doesn't have. My question is, will that be a big deal? Is that something Sony will have to react to?
I think it'll come to PS4 eventually, regardless. I
Well,
think
Sony's the one that doesn't want it on PS4.
they don't even want it. Like
They
they've
said we
straight
don't
up-
want it. Yeah.
That's why it's not there.
Yeah.
Frankly, I don't think.
So that, yeah, if they don't want it, then that's a clear message.
Don't you
Yeah.
think this will change though? Now that it's on PC as well.
Not enough to really, be a problem for Sony. Not enough for them to feel like it's an emergency in any way. But nice to have, for Xbox to have something more in their corner. But
I don't feel
don't
like
think
it
it's that big of a
being on
deal.
PC is even a big deal. I mean, if you really think about it, that kind of a membership is for somebody who's just not all that hardcore, who just wants a selection of games to pick up and play once in a while. Those kinds of players aren't on a big gaming PC rig, and Origin's not their primary platform.
Oh man, ouch, dude.
It's,
No way.
it's just
PC
not they're too
players-
late to the game to be the primary platform for somebody who's only got a PC or plays PC the most.
Yeah, PC players notoriously hate Origin.
Really?
Oh yeah. So this is almost like an incentive to get them to be a little bit more into the platform.
But let's be a little bit
Is
clear
it
on
because
that.
of like DRM stuff, or is it because it's like not they can't use Steam, and so it's like I
Um,
like
The
Steam.
selection is limited
sort of-
to EA,
yeah.
first of all.
Yeah.
No, it's not actually. They've got some other games in there.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, I think it has a lot to do with people that just would prefer to have their stuff in Steam. They don't like the Origin interface and you're like you're saying the DRM and stuff. But
Yeah.
And I mean, Origin is still as young as Steam was when Steam was having issues that are similar. I mean, I'm sure it'll continue to get better and everything, but this sort of a program just doesn't make a whole lot of sense considering Origin tries to Origin tries to emulate Steam sales in a way where they have like a week-long sale or they give out a game a month, I think it is, and they're usually old.
Yeah.
I think Jade Empire is the one that's live as we're recording this right now, which is kind of cool.
That's cool
You
for
know,
you.
it's good. Build people's catalogs and get them used to using your app when they're playing certain games. That's a good strategy. I would be surprised if they have 5% as many games as Steam does.
Oh sure. Well,
know.
yeah. I mean, a lot of Steam games are, Steam games.
And you're never going to match that momentum.
Right.
So it's one of those things where when you're trying to lock people into a frequent shopper's strategy of membership, I don't know. It doesn't seem like it's a good fit for PC. For a console, totally, because then you're just like, oh, this is easy. I'll have access to all these games, and EA's got a lot of good franchises I like, so sure, that's kind of a no-brainer.
Yeah. I mean, I think this is very cool. I think that more publishers could do this. Imagine Nintendo saying, "Give us $5 a month, you'll have access to a bunch of free games."
Well, if they do that on their console, then yes, absolutely, fits perfectly.
But you think that just like because it's on PC, it's like get out of here?
Yeah, the fact
people
that
don't want to
it's
run a
coming
bunch of apps while they're
Yeah.
running their game. Yeah.
The fact
Okay.
that you have
Yeah.
to run another heavy like Steam clone is really in this post-Steam world. Like that's unnecessary.
We're still in a Steam world.
I mean, like in a world with Steam,
Yeah.
another Steam is not. It's like every time someone tries to make a new Facebook, it's like, why? Just stop. We
yeah,
don't
I
need
mean,
that.
well, GOG's thing's been evolving, and I don't have much
But
of a
do they
problem
have
with
like
that.
a separate app?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Now. It's called
Oh,
Galaxy.
God.
But you don't have to use it. I mean, you can
Right.
still like drag The Witcher 3 into your Steam library or whatever. and
Really?
play it
I
from
like
there, yeah.
Humble
That's cool.
Bundle's store where they just have a list of all the games you own on the site, and you just download them if you want them. I don't know.
Most of those are coming out that have Origin and Steam codes now, if they're available
Yeah,
on that
yeah.
platform too.
Before we move on, Blair, I realized something. There's no NHL on PC.
No, not since 09, and they still
Okay.
sell 09 in Origin, which is hilarious.
That is funny. So you would probably buy it on PC, right? Wouldn't you?
I think it was one of their free games at some point. I think it's in my library. Yeah.
Awesome.
or
Okay,
maybe it was
cool.
$2 or something.
All right. So glad to know that. Moving on, it's the 20th anniversary of Pokemon this year, which I did not know until this week when a big announcement from the Pokemon Company came out. They're celebrating by giving you things to buy. Here's what you got. You got a new 3DS bundle, by which I mean it's a new official. It's a quote new 3DS end quote.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
that
New
kind of
3DS.
Which is actually weird because the regular new 3DS they don't release in the U.S. By itself. So far, it's only come in an Animal Crossing bundle, and now we have this Pokemon bundle. You still can't buy one by itself. You can't buy the
Interesting.
faceplates and all. It's weird.
But it comes with the red and blue or whatever.
It comes with both Pokemon Red and Pokemon Blue.
That's it. That's what I'm getting.
You're getting
That
you're gonna
actually
buy that
does,
new 3DS.
That does
Yeah.
sound worth it. Yeah.
Because I don't have a new 3DS yet, and
Uh-huh.
I want to play with Pokemon. This is like finally I'm going to play a Pokemon game.
Oh, I'm so jealous of you.
That sounds
Brandon.
perfect.
Yeah, that's really good, dude.
Wait, is
Oh,
it is,
man.
is it gonna? Am I gonna have like Pikachu on it and stuff?
You're gonna have either a Blastoise or a Charizard. You choose. You switch out the faceplate.
Oh, Charizard.
Oh, it
Sure.
comes with
Okay.
both faceplates that you can change.
Yeah.
That's cool.
It's cool. It's a cool little package. It's hard for me to justify, but for someone like Brandon who doesn't have one yet,
And I can
like,
start with Charizard, right? Charizard's one of like the three.
You start with Charmander, man. You gotta,
Charmander, right? Okay,
you gotta
right,
work
right.
your
Yep,
way
yep,
up
yep.
to a Charizard.
Yep, yep.
Wait, it comes
Yeah.
with both games and a faceplate for each?
Yes.
Oh, that's kind of fun.
That's a good bundle.
Okay, so we're
Nice
getting really out of.
bundle.
I like the interactions or the reactions we're getting from this. That's interesting.
I mean,
Well, it is.
3DSs are weird, but
Yeah.
I mean, most of those bundles that come with a custom 3DS, I usually don't like the artwork, and that's just a personal preference. I'm sure
Sure.
lots of people do, and they'll see it and be like, "That's the one." Like the Zelda ones, like, more often than not, I actually haven't liked the 3DS paint
Oh, yeah.
jobs on those and
There's
stuff.
one really good one, that black one with like the gold.
Didn't we not get it in the US or something? Or are you
did.
talking about the original 3DS one?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was shiny, and I hate the shiny ones.
Oh, okay.
Like it's
Wow.
just weird. Like
Okay.
they're always super specific. So the fact that it comes with options and stuff is the new 3DS or whatever. Like, do they sell other faceplates that you could buy to change to?
You'll have to buy them from Japan.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's weird, man.
But
in
no, I
Japan,
mean-
yeah, you can buy faceplates all over, but in Nintendo of America thought that the U.S. would not like that kind of thing. So
That's tempting me. I honestly haven't been playing my 3DS as much lately, so it's the one thing that kind of makes me hesitant. But
Steam World Heist.
yeah, there's that, and then I could just give my old one to Amanda. So she's been using the DS Lite all this time. So
Oh yeah, hook her up, man.
hand-me-downs.
Yeah. It's time for an
Seriously.
upgrade. Okay, excellent. There's more to it than that, though. The first 3 movies are getting released on Blu-ray. Pokemon trading card game is getting a throwback expansion. Toys, hats, regular playing cards, couple of video games, Pokken Tournament, and what is the other video game? I can't remember. It's because it's Pokemon Go, that mobile game. Okay, so anyway, that's the 20th anniversary of Pokemon. Question to the panel: is that enough? Is that how you celebrate 20 years of Pokemon?
they're gonna put out a new game, of course.
What is it? What do you mean? We're getting Pokemon Go, the game we've always been waiting for, for Blood.
I wouldn't be surprised if it interacts with Pokemon Go somehow.
They have said their next Pokemon game will interact with Pokemon Go.
So there you go.
Yeah. So you still think beyond this, there's more coming?
Launch game for NX. Yep.
NX.
Wow. So that's
the
a bold
ticket.
thing. What do you mean launch game for NX?
I mean, they've had this problem where like they've put out these systems without like having a real system seller, especially Wii U. Yeah. put Pokemon on the thing. There you go. You win.
Every franchise that you haven't heard from that you think that we should have by now, especially if you know that it's a specific team, that team isn't even making noise, all of those are prime contenders for launch for NX. They're not saying anything about NX, including the games, that's why we haven't seen very much for Zelda probably. I mean, Pokemon's a perfect fit for NX.
I would agree from Nintendo's perspective. And I guess it's actually the broader conversation to have about all this, is that this is the Pokemon company who made that advertisement.
Right.
It's the Pokemon company who said, hey, we're going to have a Super Bowl ad. If you are not from this weird country, Super Bowl ads are expensive and stupid. The Super Bowl is the one thing everyone in this country watches. And then the advertisements are like $2 million, for those 30 seconds.
That's like minimum, yeah.
Yeah. Last year, there were no video game ads in the Super Bowl, but there were a bunch of mobile ads.
Wow, interesting.
Yeah. And so, for there to be a Pokemon Super Bowl commercial now is a big deal. And that's not Nintendo buying that. That's the Pokemon company buying that. And so I think why I would say there won't be a Pokemon NX launch game is that the Pokemon company doesn't care about the NX until there's enough consoles for it to make a lot of money. That's what I would say.
Yeah, I don't know about that. That's weird. That relationship between the two is kind of hard for me to completely
Because they're
grasp.
obviously friends. They are buddies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Nintendo is still
And partners. Yeah.
basically making those games. So
I don't know if I'd say making those games. What do you mean by that?
Pokemon Company is it's like a branding mechanism. It's weird.
They work in their own self-interest a lot, though. They have their own cloud.
But I don't think that they have any, dictation over what games are in development, that kind of thing.
They have all the dictation they want over what games are in development. They choose which games they're the ones who say, you know what, we're going to make this game not for 3DS yet. You know what I mean? They're the ones who do things like that.
I can't wait for either one of you to start citing references
Citing references to what?
to how either of you know
Oh, well,
how
that's
that works
Blair.
within that company.
That's why this is so weird. Is because they are secretive about it. They don't talk a ton about this kind of thing. Obviously,
Pokemon also doesn't do a whole lot of teasing their games a long time before they come out.
Yeah. Brandon, do you remember we did a trailer score for Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire,
Oh,
the
yeah.
announcement trailer? It made me furious. It was 8 seconds long?
Yeah, it was like the box art and Pikachu waved, and they had like a logo.
Yes. God, that makes me mad. I'm so nervous about that Super Bowl commercial, man. If it's the same marketing team doing that, do the Super Bowl commercial, okay, what a bunch of money that'll be. But I don't know. It's a weird company. It's definitely different from what Nintendo is doing. Is also weird. I mean, they're going all out. I feel like for this 20th anniversary in their own way, in ways that I wish that other companies would. Basically, let's talk about Metroid turning 30. That's happening this year. Metroid is 30th anniversary.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh man. They're doing anything.
They might not be doing anything.
NX.
There's
I don't
another.
care about no NX.
Yeah, I hear you there, Blair. Do you do it? Hey, Metroid's 30th anniversary. Check out this sick game that
How
Retro's been
many
working on.
times have we heard them say in some fashion or another that they need to rethink their strategy, especially in regards to the new console and some of their original titles and blah, 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 blah. That's
God
why we
forbid
have
they put
Star
video
Fox
games
happening.
on a game system.
Right. I mean, most of what we've seen from them or not seen has been very deliberately geared towards them kind of rethinking their strategy. To them, that might change 1%. I don't know. Maybe they're revamping the whole way they do things, but logically speaking, it would make a hell of a lot of sense for any of those franchises to come back on that NX and make a true system seller when they launch.
Yeah. And we have no idea what Retro's been doing since Tropical Freeze. So.
Yeah. Or even, yeah. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited about that. But do you think we'll buy T-shirts that say Metroid 30th anniversary on them?
I think that might be about the most you do because they're kind of they have to be radio silent until they announce the console, right? We've
Oh well, I mean we got Federation. So anyway, we do have
Ooh,
Federation Force
concert
coming.
series.
Concert series,
There you
yeah.
go.
I'm down for that.
Well, no, you wouldn't be Blood. Just that music is not a concert type of music.
Have you heard orchestral versions
Yeah,
of
it's
that stuff?
Boop, boop, boop.
No, you have no idea what you're talking about.
That's Metroid music, man.
It is not.
No,
Metroid
it's
music.
that's some Metroid
There's
music.
one
but no,
area
there's
that sounds
definitely-
exactly like that.
Well, yeah, that's what it sounds like in an elevator, maybe. But I mean, but yeah, I mean, you've got part.
Here we
Yeah,
go. You know, there's
yeah, you'd have a full
some
choir
funky
in
fresh
that
beats
thing.
in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot. Actually, there are parts of Bloodborne's music that reminded me of Super Metroid music.
Ooh. Yeah.
Okay, all right. That's a fair comparison.
There can't be a big budget, awesome Metroid game coming to NX. There's no way.
Okay, elaborate on that, because I think a lot of people in this room think there will be.
Because Legend of Zelda has taken 45 years to even name. Star Fox sucks. We have yet to actually get a full-on. What am I? Oh, what? Oh, what's happening?
Just keep talking.
No, don't play this.
It's a video game. We can play
we're
it.
gonna get flagged or something. Don't do that.
That's actually probably true.
We have yet to get what I consider to be an
fine.
actual spiritual successor to Mario 64, Mario Sunshine. You know, like a typical Mario game. It's like, no, I'm just gonna put some levels together and make an admittedly really fun video game, but it's not gonna be reminiscent of what old school Mario was. Like none of the big franchises are. I think.
So what you're saying
How
is,
do I put it? As good as they used to be.
you don't believe Nintendo has the capacity. Ian, you got to stop the music. You don't think Nintendo has the capacity to pull it off, is what you're saying.
That might be the wrong words. I just think they're not willing. I just think it's not something they want. They want to invest in. I think they have the capacity. It's not like the developers just got dumb or untalented over there or something. I just don't think they're willing to put the resources into that.
Blair and Blood, why do you believe in a Metroid game on X that's going to blow our minds?
I mean, 'cause it's again, it's been a while. They know Retro has done games that people enjoy and that have been critically received well. So I see them, possibly going back to Retro for that.
Yeah, but what if it's like Metroid Prime 3? Do you know what I mean? It could be at that level, which is pretty good.
Yeah, Metroid Prime 3 is like, I have issues with it, but it was still a really great game.
It's like that, yeah.
And then, and one of the things it did was that like it nailed that whole pointer shooter thing. But there's a lot of features of the NX we don't know about.
All
obviously.
of them.
Yeah,
We
so
know no
it's
features.
like,
Yeah.
we don't know how that could look. We don't know if it would be more of along the lines of Tropical Freeze, where it's like it's 2D but with like a lot of three-dimensional movement around, like spiraling and that kind of thing. So you could have like a really complex 2D map, but then like have it look really, really good. So it's.
They should do that.
They should not do that.
They should definitely do that.
I
should do that.
I think
no matter what.
I think I think people are ready for something that's more of a side scroller if it's done really, really well.
Yes.
Preach it.
No.
Amen.
no, thank
Other
you.
M's sort of tried to do the mix, and I
Yeah.
think it was on the right path, but then they played it safe in a lot of other areas, and then they totally bombed on the story.
Yeah.
So
I mean, that was really. I mean, if they didn't screw up the story, I think that game would instantly just get elevated like 3 points on the scale. I mean,
Yeah.
that was.
The
It was
boss
just such a
fights were little
departure.
weird in that game too.
I'm going to say this. Metroid Prime achieves more than Super Metroid.
I mean, they're just different.
Yeah, but like
whatever.
one's like a better game, and it's Metroid
Super
Prime.
Metroid.
No, Super Metroid is, yeah. Metroid Prime though is surprising in that it achieved basically taking Super Metroid and putting it into a
Yeah.
fully 3D world.
Oh gosh, I hate that. That's like when people say Ocarina of Time is just Link to the Past in 3D.
No.
That's so
It's
wrong.
neither one of those is that
Yeah.
at all. There's a lot of stuff that Metroid Prime does that no Metroid, tried to do before that. But it's,
Yeah.
but a lot of the things like, the grappling hook, in the spider ball, and later when they did the screw attack, like seeing all that stuff actually happen in 3D, that was a moment. Just like getting swallowed by a like in freaking Ocarina of Time. Just
Right.
like, holy crap, this is in 3D.
Yeah, they did it right. Like when
Okay.
like Super Mario 64 did it right.
Yep.
And how all the Souls games are the 3D Castlevanias that never were, and all the 3D Castlevanias did it wrong,
The next story I want to talk about is one that's just popped up. Like, kind of. Boy, this is a complicated one. We're going to need Bloodworth on this one.
Oh, the phone thing.
Yeah, this is Hitman. So early this week, Hitman pre-purchases were canceled on the PlayStation Store. If you bought this game for $60, your pre-order was canceled and you got refunded and said, okay, you can't. We're going to change how this is structured. This morning, Bloodworth learned how he got that press release. We learned how the pricing will be restructured. Blood, why don't you hit us with the bullet points of what's going on with Hitman, the reboot,
Okay, so
coming out March 11th.
what's interesting is the headline is now a fully episodic AAA game. They really like pin their hat.
Fully. That is a fully.
Yeah.
No, that's worth making fun of, dude.
Don't they say that in like in Bill and Ted, they go like, "I've got a full-on robot Chubby," or whatever, something like that. I don't know.
This isn't even the first time that we've read a Hitman press release out loud and made fun of it when I've been on this show.
Because okay, that's worth.
How often does this happen?
Let's do the
Yeah, 2 months out is bad.
Let's do what preceded this, is because last time they said, hey, we're not going to do that. We're going to put it out. We're delaying the game so it can come out in a big chunk.
Yeah.
That's true.
That's what's
Yeah.
leading up to this. Okay.
Yeah.
But now we have good news. That's the title of the headline.
Fully
episodic AAA title.
Fully episodic.
Yeah, so on March 11th, which was the release date that they said before,
Yeah.
that got canceled on people.
Yeah.
They're starting with a prologue mission and the Paris location. And then in April, there will be Italy. And then Morocco will come in May. And then they will have regular monthly content, including 3 additional locations in Thailand, the US, and Japan until the season concludes in Japan later in 2016. So that means that they're going to do probably some wiggle room where some months they'll have a new location, other months they'll have, who knows, a new mode or something.
How can I buy this? How much does it cost?
So you can either buy this as a full, what do they call it?
Fully.
You can buy the full experience up front
Ooh, okay. I need experiences.
for
Great.
$60.
Yeah.
Or you can buy $15 for the prologue in Paris on March 11th, and then $10 for each add-on. And then the disc version will ship at the end of 2016.
Okay, so let me say what it was.
Why, though?
Yesterday. Let me say how you could buy this game yesterday. Yesterday, it was still a full game, $60. You had the intro pack for $35, which is now $15, you said?
Yeah.
Okay. However, the intro pack came with Paris, Sapienza, and Marrakesh, which I think is what is that? That's
Italy and Morocco.
That's the Italy and Morocco. So basically, they just delayed the game by making it like truly episodic. They took away that intro pack and they just delayed those months. What was going to come was Thailand, USA, and Japan in April, May, and June. That's now delayed even further. Basically, we got a delay. You still get the same amount of game for your $60. You just get it later.
Right.
That is what we're looking at. Is this a good? What?
No,
How do we?
no,
I don't
no.
even.
Nothing's good about this,
how do I
and that's
process
why I love these when they happen so much. When it's just like, hey, good news, and you're like, oh, okay, and then they're like, blah 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 blah, and then they walk away, and you're like, well, that's not good news.
Yeah,
What are they
that's
talking about?
right. That's exactly what it was.
Wait a minute.
Yes.
Wait. Okay, wait. So now there's way more fine print. Yeah. You're segmenting things off and decide like we'll put in Paris. Like I don't know what that means. I have no idea what Paris is. What
Yeah.
if Paris sucks? Then it doesn't mean anything. You can't just
Right.
say the word Paris and it's like, oh, I know exactly what kind of value I'm getting for my purchase. Like I don't know how big these levels are. I don't know how many times I'm gonna want to replay this. Yeah, it's just. It's not like a sharp dip. It's just like a weird detour, and it's just nothing good about it. It's like if you're on like a road trip and your dad's like, "Hey, we're gonna stop, kids, and this is gonna be fun. We're, look at the way station. That looks
and
great,
now-
doesn't it?" And you're like,
Yes.
What are we doing?"
Like well, now that we're with other episodic games, we're waiting till the full thing to come out. It's the same thing as
To review it.
Or do some like first impressions or something of each of these things, and then review it at the end of the year.
What you said it's coming out in a box at the end of the year, right?
Yeah.
I guess that's when we will.
If you have to
review it.
ask Blood, okay, Blood, bring up the thing and read it. It's like that's bad. That's
Yeah.
always bad. Like if your game is 2 months out and you're making an announcement that I gotta like, okay, wait, how does that? Okay, what if I'm buying? It's like
What kind of pack do I
That's
have
the
to
key,
buy?
right?
Yeah.
That's the key, because the last time we talked about this was probably several months ago when I was on the show, and I think I defended it in the sense that I think maybe sometimes we know too much. Because if this was the first time they announced this pricing scheme, I would actually, my first thought, like critically speaking, would be, okay, well, you want to play Hitman and you pay $15 right out the gate to play it, and if you don't like it, you're not locked in for those other things, and maybe you get the experience out of it and you're like, I'm good, I don't need other maps, I don't have to pay whatever. That pricing scheme immediately makes sense to me in that sense. But when you're canceling pre-orders and you're 2 months out or less, or all of these extra details, it's too close. That's embarrassing. That's bad.
Yeah.
Now it is bad. Last time we know too much. Now it's bad.
Yeah, because last time they said we're doing this because we want a more robust package out of the gate.
Yeah.
And now they're chopping out 2/3 of that package and saying, oh, we want to make sure that every location is really awesome.
Yeah.
Well, it's all of this is just anytime games do stuff like this, where they like make announcements with all these weird caveats and stuff, and it's just making up for bad decisions made early on. Like, people shouldn't be announcing things so early, and
Yeah.
they shouldn't be saying like, don't promise things that you aren't sure you can deliver. Like, even if you think you can, wait another 2 weeks and then see if you really can. Because it's just like,
It
like
ultimately
Fallout
really
4
doesn't
they
matter.
announced when that game was like probably pretty much like they knew it for sure, you know, was going to come out.
I mean, this is clearly a whole different type of game that
Yeah.
Square Enix has ever published. I don't, maybe any huge publisher has published. This is weird. This
Yeah.
is a weird
It's
episodic
weird.
game.
Yeah, and so then the other part of the quote here from the head of the studio at IO is part of the decision is for every little bit of time, whatever that we said before. But the main driving reason is that this will allow us to create a living game that will expand and evolve over time and establish a foundation for the future. This is the first game in a storyline which will continue and expand with future Hitman games.
Spin, 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 spin.
The main reason doesn't sound like anything.
Oh no.
Would it not have been better to just hear the words, "We actually think that this is a better option for you to buy"?
No, and it's a
might
reboot,
not be
too.
that might not be
Yeah.
the full truth. We don't need to know the
they're,
full
they're
truth.
putting their cards on the table. It's like a magician, which is like sleight of hand, where you have like one hand being like, "Hey, guys, Hitman's coming back. Remember Hitman? Hitman's coming back." But we should seriously talk about like how we're gonna do the pricing structure. Like we can't. It's not gonna be a standard whistle game. We're gonna like segment it off. And you're like, "Well, yeah, but Hitman's coming back." It's like, you mean Hitman's not good enough for a full price game? And they're like, whatever we can do, however we can describe all of these changes as like, it's good, it's great, it's just, it's gonna benefit it.
Yeah.
It's gonna make the whole thing great. It's like, that should be apparent. That should be so obvious just from your headline. Like, I should read again like 8 words of your press release and immediately start to get excited.
It sucks.
And like, I'm 5 paragraphs in and like,
the
I
funny-
still don't get it. Kind of.
The funny thing about this to me is like, because I think I remember saying something about like, after they announced it, I was like, that is weird. It should be like chunks and they're all $15 or whatever, or $20. I think I said 20, because that was right after like the Destiny thing, where Destiny came out for 60 and it was like a 2-hour game, and then everyone was pissed. And I'm like, okay, so Hitman's just doing that literally. So like, if they came out the gate and said this is what we're doing, this would have been a way better idea, I think, than doing 60 and the other thing.
Well, that's the thing is like, in PR wise, it's super embarrassing. But what about the end product? I mean, they're stumbling and it's bad and it's not a good sign. But what if it ends up being actually like a decent thing? And the pricing, like, what if this pricing structure actually makes perfect sense to how much you get out of it per every bundle or whatever?
Doesn't matter. We haven't played it.
I know.
Doesn't matter. But it's like, if you look at something like Psychonauts 2, like if Tim Schafer came out a couple months ago and he's like, hey, we made, almost $4 million. Was it 40 or was it? It was like 3.8 mil. How much did Psychonauts 2 make?
Oh, 3.3.
3.3. So it's like, we made all this money, and then later it's like, okay, we've actually looked at how we want to do this Kickstarter that you gave us money for, and we're going to separate it in this way. Like, that wouldn't be great news, but at least be like, well, it's a Kickstarted project.
That's
So
what
they
they
are
did
kind
with
of figuring out their budget as they're going along.
They did that with
they
Broken Age.
literally did
And
that.
they,
did
right.
that, yeah.
But I mean, but I'm not as frustrated with that, because it's like, I'm lucky just to get Psychonauts 2. But when you make the announcement, we're like, Hitman's coming back. And then you start backpedaling and being like, well, and if we didn't do this pricing structure, this project wouldn't happen.
But don't you think there are people out there that might feel the same way about the Hitman franchise? Like, I'm lucky to be getting Hitman at all. Probably not, because
it's just that was the vibe. That was not the vibe I got when they announced it.
Right.
So again, yeah, Ian,
But there are
it's
tons of people that are actually genuinely upset about the way that Double Fine's done a lot of their Kickstarter stuff. And
Right.
like, all
Yeah.
those examples.
I mean, think about Final Fantasy VII. Like, we're lucky to be getting that at all, and people were super pissed about the episodic thing.
Right.
And
The episodic
from my
thing's
perspective,
very
I'm like,
unclear
hey, do it,
as
whatever.
well. Yeah.
Like, as long as we get it, as long
Well,
as it exists.
Expectations versus reality. They're doing a very terrible job trying to manage your expectations with Hitman. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. Okay. So here's the thing. The way the
Does
game.
anyone have expectations?
I don't like how it's
I just
possible to
wanna
have
hit
them.
someone with a golf club after sneaking in a window.
Right.
Alright, so,
Piano wire, whatever.
I should do a self-correction before I move forward. 3.3 is what they were asking for, Brandon. I actually don't know where they ended up.
I think it was 3.8.
So
I await correction.
I thought it would be more than that by the end. Anyway, with Hitman, this is a different Hitman game. I think, much like Final Fantasy VII, where we're just hitting the walls of realistic video game development. Just where like it's like you want to make a game that would be too big to make, and it is that. It's like, hey, let's make a Hitman game that gives you total freedom. And I think that's why I'm personally not attracted to this game, is that you're in the same scenarios over and over where it's just like, we wanted to make a big open world. I just want to do one mission in the open world and move on. But it's like, okay, well, you got different contracts. And every day when you log in, you'll be able to do a different contract in that same level. It'll be different. You want to kill a different guy, you'll have to kill him a different way. But it's just like, you're going to be playing Italy for a month.
Well, from argument's sake, I did like going back to areas in MGS5 and knowing them and knowing like the ins and outs of that building and knowing like other ways I could get in that building. And so I could see that.
Sure.
But
it's going to be Italy for a
icky.
month, though. If you pay $15 to play in Italy for a month.
Can I suggest something that might seem
Paris,
a little radical?
Actually. Sorry.
Does it feel like anybody to anybody else that maybe, and maybe this is completely unintended, fringe benefit from the developer standpoint, but maybe this game feels like it's one of the first games that's kind of designed with the awareness that it's not the only game in the damn world?
No, what do you mean by that?
$15 and then $10 a few times throughout the year to get just this game that you come back to once in a while, but it's not the only thing you play?
It's not designed to be a game you come back to once in a while.
That doesn't feel that way to you guys?
I think games like that, I like games like that. Like I like a game that I can just episodic Life is Strange, something like that. That's like, it's an evening and then I moved on and it'll come back to me, but not Hitman. You know, like it's a bummer for that to be Hitman. For like, that's where we are with Hitman now.
When I think about
and if that's where we are, launch with that. You know, like have that first trailer end with like an episodic adventure coming 2016. Like,
I mean, I kind of agree. God help me, but I kind of agree with Blair here. I mean, from the beginning, it did seem like they were selling it kind of like, yeah, there'll be new contracts every couple of weeks, and you jump in and do your friends' contracts, and then you know, go off and play whatever for a little while, and then, hey, next day, you know, maybe like they think it's like once a day. It's like Destiny or whatever, like you come in and play for 30 minutes and then stop.
Yeah, I guess they are thinking of it like that. That's not Hitman. What are you doing?
Why is that not Hitman?
No, this actually,
That's
we've
the most
praised.
Hitman of any Hitman ever, because a real Hitman gets a contract, goes and does it, and then bums off to Barcelona for 2 months.
That's what a real
and then
Hitman
gets
does?
another contract. Yeah. Haven't you ever seen any movie?
No, I mean, it does really work for the concept, and we praised that on this show, Kyle. Like,
What do we praise?
we praised the format of this game. It's actually kind of a clever idea. It really is.
You might have to check the tape. We
whether-
praised it on this very show.
Whatever. I
Okay.
did, and
All
then
right.
you can check the tape on everybody else. But I think it's a clever idea. I think that maybe people are disappointed that they don't get Blood Money again or Silent Assassin again. Pick your favorite. Don't care. But for the concept of the game and the design behind it, all on paper, it makes sense. Whether they deliver on that is irrelevant to me right now. But when it comes out, obviously, it becomes extremely relevant. But in concept, it actually really, really fits. And when I think about it in that way, where it's like, we don't expect you to play this game like a grind fest. Play it a couple of times a week. If you really like it and you want to come back next month and play in a different city, pay us $10 more. I like that. It actually makes sense.
A couple of times a week to me is a grind fest. That's a grind fest. They made a grind fest Hitman game instead of like a Hitman game where like you're progressing through a world.
Right, but when we make that comparison to Destiny, for example, where it's like this is a total grind fest and we want you to basically feel like this is the only game that exists because there's all these daily things, and if you don't grind it, you don't get the best equipment and all that stuff. The design of that is so up in your face. It's the only thing you can do, because if you want the best, you got to put all the time in. If you just want to play, you want to go kill somebody, go load up Hitman.
No way.
Execute a contract and then come back next month if you want. Come back tomorrow if you
No
want.
way, because there will be daily challenges in Hitman. You can't say you can't say that Hitman is like way better than what Destiny
Right, but you're not going to get an
the same
upgrade
thing.
to your freaking piano wire if you grind it every day for a week. Like the basic design doesn't feel like it's.
Hitman is
Insistent.
an honest Destiny.
No.
It's just saying, like, here's the game. You just do a thing once a day, and then
You
you're
both
fine.
have very high hopes for what this game will
I
end
think
up
this
being.
game is going to be dumb and pointless.
And you don't
I have
think
no
that there will
hopes
be any
at all.
incentive for
I
me to
think
play every day? You don't
it's
think it'll
not
do the same
entirely
thing?
I said
possible.
If you feel like playing
Yeah.
it, you'll play it, but there's not going to.
There's
There's no more incentive than anything else.
That is what Destiny is. Like, if you
Right.
ask people at Destiny, like, is your game the only game in the world? They'll say no. What do you
But
mean?
Destiny pretends to have like a story when it doesn't.
The Hitman does too. Hitman will have a story.
Hitman does have that story, and the thing is maybe that'll work out too, being hidden in the background. And it's entirely possible that it could be crap, but I'm not going to act like it's crap, not knowing anything.
Have we seen gameplay? It's 2 months out, right? It was March.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, we
we
had
Haven't
gameplay.
seen this game in motion.
Pretty sure we have.
I mean,
Have-
anyone who thinks
I-
this game is going to be good is kidding themselves.
Oh my God. Well, no. Also, we let one slip. I don't want to say Star Fox sucks. We just said Star Fox sucks earlier in this episode.
I
We
said that.
said that. You
I said that.
Yeah.
And I love Star Fox. I think it's. I think when I played, I loved it. I'm actually one of the people on the team. We we said that in a countdown recently. Like we wrote that in where it's like, the staff's kind of divided, and I'm definitely on the side that's like, it's fun to look around on the gamepad. It's really interesting. Is it where I want Star Fox to be right now? Hell no. But it's still fun. Like, I think that mechanic is neat. But like, do I have the excitement for any of the major Nintendo franchises that I did, in the 90s or even a decade ago? Not at all.
I don't want to exactly. I don't want to prejudge Hitman too much.
We did a lot of it here today.
Yeah. You are paying $60 for like a game that will be complete 8 months from now. Yes.
I'm sorry,
paying
did they
up
not just
to
announce a new
$60.
pricing scheme?
No,
that-
you can buy the full thing.
For
You
60
can.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you should not.
Exactly.
Pre-orders were pulled. They are nervous.
Yeah.
They made a mistake.
Yeah.
This project is not where they want it to be right now.
I am
Yeah,
a hell of a
right.
lot
That's a-
happier.
that's a fact.
Hey, you know what? You may be absolutely right on the money, and the odds are probably in that favor. But I am in a much bigger favor of them pulling those, saying, "Look, you didn't have all the options to begin with. The reasons don't matter. Cancel all of those. Here are the actual pricing schemes. Now make your well-informed decision. Well, more informed decision."
Yeah, that is what they did. Yeah.
That is a hell of a lot better than any of the other alternatives, especially leaving those pre-orders there and then changing things
Is that
after
better
the
than
fact.
delaying it? Is that better than delaying it? And so when you do play this game for the first
What
time,
if-
what?
What if both the delay and the pricing scheme just make more sense business-wise?
No, I mean a further
like
delay.
it.
Like, don't launch it on March 11th.
I mean, why delay a game that's not even that wasn't going to be a complete game, even in their original idea of the game?
because I think it's a good idea to have more than one location when it launches.
They weren't going to even originally.
They
It was
were.
just-
Yeah,
No,
they
no.
were going to have.
No, weren't they? Where they were just
I
going
thought
to
it was
unlock
just
those
Paris.
locations
Yeah.
after the fact, weren't they?
And
It
then
was
they
going to launch
unlocked
with
it.
3 locations.
Oh, okay.
That was going to be the intro pack. If you paid $35, you would have 3 locations plus whatever that.
Their
prolonged.
actions tell me the game will not be good enough, no matter how far you delay it. So they just got
yeah,
to they got to
here's
get
the
it
thing,
out.
like,
They got to
you-
start
You
making.
might be right.
Did
They
you
got to start
ever
bringing in
have
revenue on
good
this project.
expectations for this game?
Yes.
Ever?
Absolutely.
Why?
Hitman has a pedigree, and
It
if
does not.
Yeah.
No,
well,
Two
Hitman
of
has
the
the
games
pedigree.
have been
Hitman's
good.
had some really strong notes.
Yeah.
And I think
Yeah,
they're.
and some pretty bad ones.
And here's what we had
It's
the
like
Hitman team here.
50-50 right now.
We talked to them at E3. I love what the guy was saying when he said just like designing your kills. Like, you have a target, you have
Meaningful
to find that
kills.
target. Yeah. Meaningful kill.
Sicario.
And yeah, I like that idea. You know what I mean? I love that idea of, hey, I have to improvise my own assassination here. Let me look around and let me do all that. I don't like the idea of doing that in one area for an entire month.
Right, but
Even
that's
for
We'll see how big the area is.
Yeah,
That's why I'm
I think
talking about
that's the
it.
thing is it all hinges on how large the area is and how complex it is. Because I think that could be part of it too, to where it's like if they maybe in their heads they're thinking like, well, if we give people all this at once, then they're not going to see half of it, and then like bean counters are like, well, why did you spend all this time making these complex areas? People only see 20% of the game and that kind of thing. So
Yeah. I mean, that's exactly it, man. It's like, why make Knights of the Round today when only a small portion of the people would ever see it? Kills me,
I'd
man.
be a lot happier to have spent $15 being excited for a new Hitman game and then being disappointed and having the option not to pay 10 for the rest and 10 for the rest and 10 for the rest. I'd be a lot happier not having put down my $60 digital pre-order and then have all of that stuff change and realize I'm not getting as much bang for my buck.
Correct.
Like, here we are in the reality of the situation. Blame whatever you want for the reason why they're delaying things or it's not finished or whatever. But they're putting the game out. If it sucks, I'd be happier wasting 15 than 60. And wait until the game comes out and you start seeing it to buy it. That's kind of the point of our jobs.
Blair, here's my
Right?
argument. Here's my argument. Which I think you're missing. I think you're going to have a worse impression of the game at $15 than you would have at $35, with more areas. I think that $15 version of the game you're going to dislike and you're going to move on. I think you would have a better chance of getting attached to the game at $35 with more locations.
But with the information I've got right now, I am
Yeah.
assuming that I'm going to play it the way that I mentioned, where it's, this is something I can load into, do a couple of kills, enjoy myself, and then actively put it on the shelf. Well, the digital
Yeah,
shelf.
the digital shelf,
And
yeah.
come back to it later and see what the daily mission is and blah, blah, blah. It's not something that I'm going to grind for an entire weekend. It's not like I didn't even do that with most of the original Hitman games, where I'm just like, I'll do a couple of kills and then come back
Is that just
later.
grinding now? When you just play a game? If I just play a video game, am I
Depends on the
grinding it?
game.
You know what I mean?
I don't, frankly.
Okay,
Like,
fine. All right. I'm not going to do a big weekend-long play session
why not?
because I just that's not how I play Hitman, right?
Okay, sure.
So with the information we've got,
What
I'm
about
starting
Michael
to build
Huber,
an
who loves
impression.
Hitman, who absolutely plays it like that?
Then that's what this game is like, and that sucks for him.
All right. Okay. All right. We got to move on from Hitman. We're trashing on Hitman for too long. I'm trashing on Hitman for too long. Though Brandon hates it too. Let's move on to, well, you're the one who started this conversation. We'll do a short one. This comes from Tongue Surgery. Always ask great questions. If you won the Powerball, relevant, topical, what video game would you fund? Powerball, to anyone who that makes no sense to, is like lottery. That's just in the billions at this point. 1 point something billions.
Your own.
Well, what are you
With
funding?
that much money, fund your own stuff.
No, go ahead, Ian. What do you mean? But
I mean,
let's,
I would make movies.
let's
I would
be
make my
realistic
own
here.
movies.
No, you got to fund a video game. Let's
I
be
would-
realistic here. How would you fund your own video game?
I would pay for the Seedlings video game.
The Seedlings video game.
Yes.
How?
With
By
money?
hiring companies to. What do you mean how?
Yes.
You don't understand how money works?
Yeah, I don't understand how I would start.
I would take the $800 or $900 million that
Okay.
it is right now.
All right.
And
Somebody won it,
hire
by
a
the way.
video game company.
Like what video game company, man?
I'd research it. I don't know. A good one?
Yeah, you have your pick, man. You have billions. Well, you have 1.5 billion, we'll say.
Is that how high the Powerball is?
No.
Yeah.
No,
it's
it was
insane.
it was
7
like
or
1
That's
point.
not how much you're going to get at the end of the day.
It was-
Okay, sure.
It was like
Okay.
a
Get a lump
billion
sum,
point
let's say
two
it's
or something.
$400
I
million.
think, yeah, I think you took home just under $1 billion.
Somebody-
900 something.
Somebody won
Okay.
it last night, by the way. In
3
Chino
people won
Hills.
it.
Yeah.
3 people.
Yeah,
tied?
3 different tickets. None
Oh,
of them
so
have claimed
they got,
yet.
They got to split it. Okay, so let's say you got 300 million, Ian.
$300 million.
Yeah, you have more money than Tim Schafer has.
Yeah.
Okay, so what are you doing?
I'd pay off my credit card.
No, with a game. We're spending this all on a game. You do not get
All
to-
of it?
Yes.
I would not do that.
Right? No,
Tongue surgery started this conversation.
All right,
We're
I
having
would-
it.
I would build the Seedlings game.
There you
Okay, so-
go.
yeah, but I mean, how do you do it?
Why is that a
Why are
question?
you asking how you do
Why
it?
are
Tongue
you
surgery
asking
did not
that?
ask that.
Tongue surgery doesn't.
Like 20 minutes from now, Cal's like, yeah, but what are the achievements? I mean, come on, let's figure this out.
That's what tongue
How
surgery
many? Are we
wants.
talking 20,
That's
30
not what
achievements? What are you
tongue
doing?
surgery
What kind of
wants.
console
Yeah.
exclusivity you're going to have?
I'm
Huh?
saying-
You're going to launch on PS4 or Xbox One first. Let's get information.
Did you
Okay.
not read it verbatim?
No, everyone just give me the title of the game that you're going to fund, and we'll move on. What do you want? What's the title of the game, Blair?
He asked what you would fund. That's all he asked.
Why is a good question, and going into all this extra stuff is kind of weird.
Oh,
Because
my
I would
gosh.
own it.
Yep.
It'd be great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would it
But
be
I'm
great?
saying don't fund someone else. Don't waste all your money on someone else's dream.
So, the Seedlings game, is it like narrative driven?
Yeah, some of it.
Oh, you don't sound ready to fund this game.
No, I just can't answer that question.
All right, Blair, do you have a more clear
Spoilers.
idea of the game you're going to fund?
Spoilers.
Star Tropics.
Okay, why Star Tropics?
Because it's too rich of a old franchise to just let die in the realm of top-down 2D. I think that game could have made it in various ways. Whether
What's
you
special about Star Tropics?
the atmosphere. If any of you guys haven't it's an NES game. It was 2 NES games, but
The second game was weird,
I fondly remember the first.
as many second NES games were.
And it did kind of as many games on the NES had to do, where it's like you have that kind of top-down world explorer type thing, and then once you go into a map, you're still top-down, but it's a little bit more in the isometric kind of style.
Is it an RPG then?
It
Is
was. It was
RPG?
very much. Yeah, I mean, you could simplify it as a Zelda clone in a way.
Okay.
But it also when you're in the dungeons, there's a lot more like platforming
So
and
okay,
traps.
so
and
the
stuff.
concept of the game, Star Tropics, you're in like the actual tropics. So you're sailing around the ocean, you're coming to tropical islands and stuff, you're exploring. There's a level within a whale, you get swallowed up and you have to rescue like somebody that was in there.
Get a boat or a submarine or something at
You
some
get
point,
the
right?
subsea. It's
Yeah.
a little submarine, and there's so much lore behind it that it'd just take way too long to try to remember and then explain in a proper order. I apologize, I'm kind of butchering it right now. But anyways, the music was like fantastically tailored to tropical themes and stuff like that. And the combat, you actually fight with a yo-yo because you're a kid basically. You're kind of like a
That's one of the starter weapons. There's other ones too.
But then you can unlock like something like a what do they call it? The Morning Star or whatever.
So do you want all of these things in the game still? In the one you're funding?
Totally.
Who are you going to?
Me. I'm just gonna hire a whole bunch of people, and then I'm gonna.
Are we hiring a legal team to take this away from Nintendo?
I'll buy it from them. Whatever.
Okay.
I have $1.5 billion or whatever it is.
Well, we only have 300 million, but I think you might still be able to buy Star Tropics.
I got the game in
You
like a
said
Nintendo Power Fire sale.
Sorry?
I got the game in like a Nintendo Power Fire sale.
What is that?
Like they I don't know why, but it's at one point it was like Nintendo had a bunch of like extra inventory, and so Nintendo Power subscribers could like order all this stuff at a huge discount. So I got Star Tropics, and I got the NES Max controller, which was the one with like the weird like circle thing on it.
Oh yeah.
Blood, that is so interesting to me.
And something else. Oh, I think I got like a cleaning kit or something like that for the NES.
For like dirt cheap?
Yeah, I don't remember what the price was, but it was a lot cheaper than it would have been at
I've
the
never
store.
heard of such a thing.
And then they all had like these big stickers on them for like not for resale or something like that. They're
that
like
would never happen today. That is crazy.
yeah. And then
What
but yeah.
game are you funding?
But then the other thing that was really cool about Star Tropics, it could be
Oh, so
kind of
are you
could be
pitching in
kind
to
of
help
lame
Blair
if,
fund his
if
game?
you got a used copy, but there was also a letter.
Yeah.
And then you had to get the letter wet to get a secret code
Yeah.
to put into the game.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's
like in
pretty
the,
cool.
that's really cool in real life.
Yeah.
That is cool.
But yeah, so no, the way I interpreted his question, I was thinking that I was not at all expecting to have to spend the whole amount of money. It was just like, what game would you fund if you had the money? But then I was also thought he was referencing like games that were already, Kickstarter or whatever. So I would definitely, put some money in the hat for Shenmue 3 and make sure that thing is up to snuff.
I'll allow that answer. That's funny. So you're a little nervous about Shenmue 3 right now.
Yeah, I mean, just even with Kickstarter funds, I mean, it's, to make that game the way it should be, should never have been a Kickstarter game.
Yeah. So you want it to be you want it to have the same vision that it had in a time gone by.
Yeah, absolutely.
Shoot, man, if you had $300 million, you could just walk up to Nintendo and be like, we're making a 2D Metroid. And they'd be like, sure.
I don't think you can. I
bet you could.
You'd have to have one hell of a business plan.
The business plan is here's a briefcase with $300 million in it.
Please
Make
waste
me a
this.
Metroid game.
What's funny is I think that's a little bit of like how Hollywood works. I think that's how some movies get funded.
Absolutely.
But I think in this particular case with Nintendo, they'd be like, well, we got to protect our own IP, and we have a release schedule planned for what we're doing with Metroid. I think you know what I mean.
And I'm like, we're bumping it up.
Right.
Brandon, what are you funding?
I'm calling From Software and bringing back Tenchu.
Holy cow!
New
wow.
Tenchu game.
I did not see that answer
That is
coming.
not what I thought.
He's been talking about it the past week or so.
Tenchu. Brad Ellis, I know, is in the same camp.
Wow.
But thinking because it's like Red Dead is probably the one sequel I want more than anything. But
They
like,
don't need your money.
Yeah, they're fine. And I have seedlings like stuff like my own dumb ideas that would be great to like. But if it was a franchise that somebody
your
watching
ideas,
this show.
Yeah, I gotta know your idea.
But I'm so good
now.
at underselling my ideas.
Yeah, what is your idea, man?
A gothic horror, massively multiplayer online role playing game.
Oh no.
Gotta
Like
happen.
The Hunt.
Oh, that's huge, dude.
Gotta happen. Bloodborne MMO.
Okay.
Please.
With Bloodborne controls?
I don't know if you could pull that off in an MMO,
Okay,
but
so
Guild Wars kind of did something like that.
Here's why I'm asking you who you go to. Like, would you go to From and say we got to make this MMO, or would you go to like Blizzard and say we got to make that MMO?
No. I'm trying to think what. Who did City of Heroes?
NCSoft. And
NC. Yeah, there's like I know there were divisions within NCSoft that were doing something of that.
So you wanna go to them?
Because even like 300 is like that's okay for an MMO, but you need to have a lot of support behind
so
a
you're
project.
thinking
that big.
realistically, you're like, I could afford NCSoft with my 300 million. I
Yeah.
see what you're saying.
I think you could make a better Tenchu game than an MMO with 300 mil.
Cool. Ian, do you have any developers in mind now that you understand what I was trying to ask you?
I mean, sure. Like,
Oh, no. All right, fine. We're moving
I
on.
would go with like people I know. So
Oh, actually, okay. That is interesting, Ian. Who are you talking to?
just a bunch of people that I
Ew,
know.
God.
Like
What?
people
They
in
don't have
Glen
names?
City.
No, they're not interesting people.
They don't work for companies.
Why do
They're
you want me
just
to-
gray blobs.
You want me
Okay,
to sit here and list off like 30 people?
Are we
right now?
actually looking for funding
what
for
the
Ian's
hell?
game right now?
I don't
Yes.
understand.
Yeah, Ian. I want to know like who you would pick to work with
Maybe
on
one.
this team.
Maybe just one.
Just give us one person.
Brendan Chung,
There we
Teddy
go.
Diefenbach,
Yep.
Don Casanova would be a level designer.
So you don't think that's interesting? You don't
I
think
would
that's a good
hire-
answer to say
I
Don
would hire
Casanova?
Hello Games actually after they're done with No Man's Sky because I want to use
No
their
Country for
seed.
Old Spaceships.
No Country for
Yeah.
Old Spaceship. I want to use their algorithms.
Sick, Ian. That is all that I ever wanted, and you make me pry it out of you like an
All I want
alligator.
is your answer so we can wrap up this damn show.
Oh, I don't even have one because I was just so uptight about giving everybody else's answers.
Pokemon MMO.
I don't-
Pokemon MMO.
I honestly, I don't want it. I
You
don't
call
want that
it
Pokemon.
I want you to
MMO.
get hooked on a Pokemon
I don't
MMO
want it.
so bad.
I don't want that game.
Pokemon.
I want to see bags under your eyes. You're like, I got level 10 finally.
Oh, okay. So this is tricky. I want Mega Man Legends 3 to happen. I don't want Inafune involved. I don't know how to make that happen. So maybe with my $300 million, I could figure that out. But I guess that'd be what I would be spending my money on.
You'd give him 100 mil just to go on vacation.
Hush money.
Hush money.
Just hush, hush, hush. Inafune. Shh.
Fine. It's better without you. Tongue surgery, thank you so much for starting that conversation, which clearly get us all riled up. Probably, like, asked in, like, such good nature, you know what I mean? Like, this will be fun. No one will fight over this. No, I'm sorry. I fight over
He knows
everything.
who he's asking.
Yeah.
Okay. It is time for bets. Resident Evil 0 HD Remaster releases on Tuesday. I'm going to look at the top 9 reviews for this game. 3 on PC, 3 on PS4, 3 on Xbox One. By the way, what I mean by top is most recent, 3 most recent for each of those platforms on GameRankings.com. How many times will I see the word inventory? I should reveal the reason I thought of this bet is because I sit too close to Huber. He's now reviewing this game, and all I hear him say is inventory. Oh, God. Inventory. It's just it. So I hear that word a lot. And so I'm wondering how many times we'll see it.
He's been saying the word backtracking a lot too.
Yeah.
You're right. I hear that. So, Han Blood, you hear him from across the hallway then
Yes.
clearly.
I think inventory will be more than backtracking now. Because you could just say backtracking once in a review and you get it. Whereas like inventory could pop up in lots of different
Ooh.
conversations. or
I'm
points you
interested
make
to see
about
your
the
bet
game.
now then. Okay, Jones, you are the first to
I
reveal your
I'm
bets.
going 21, but I think I'm underselling it.
Whoa.
You think you're under-
I think I am underselling
Underselling?
it. Yeah, because you know you like to do words, Kyle, that are like it's like oh are they going to end up talking about this? Whereas like inventory is like Kleenex. It's just such a basic.
You have to-
There's no other word for inventory.
Yeah.
Like you're not gonna say your cash. You're not gonna say your briefcase. Like that is the only way to reference that. And that's something, that I think is at least going to come up twice in every single one.
Wow. Okay. I like that bet.
I can see this being like 40 or something crazy. Like,
Brandon, I think you have the high bet. I don't think you have to worry about
All right.
underselling it. My bet is 9, 1 each. Matt Blair
13.
and Daniel Bloodworth.
Yes, I'm low. I'm at 6.
Nice.
Whoa.
I like the line though at the bottom,
Yeah.
just to be sure.
I've been there. I've flipped around. All right, I'm going to lock those in. Okay, let's talk about last week's bet, our first bet of the season. Awesome Games Done Quick, massive semi-annual speedrunning streaming event, was running last week, raising money for the Prevent Cancer Foundation. I think raised $1.2 million. They're just, that's crazy, in one weekend. And then they do that semi-annually. They'll do it again this summer. That is crazy. That is force for good. Anyway, the bet. Last game scheduled to be streamed, Final Fantasy VII by No Cash, No Cash. The estimated block of time was 3 hours and 35 minutes. How long will the actual time be for this run? We bet. Blood went first. He bet 3 hours 51 minutes. Jones bet 3 hours 42 minutes. I bet 3 hours 18 minutes. And then in the super seat, Michael Huber bet 3 hours 29 minutes and 46 seconds. The actual time, 3 hours 33 minutes and 5 seconds. Yes, you're gesturing correctly. That is a win for the Super Seat, the first point of the year. So our current score is Super Seat 1, Bloodworth 0, Brennan Jones 0, Bossman 0. Jones, you're in good company.
Yeah. I just don't want Bloodworth to win. That was great. Like Bloodworth just got a little
target
sad,
on
and
the
I got a
back.
little happy.
Blood, were you sad you didn't win that bet?
No, because after the show, like right after the show, like I had considered how they had estimated and like, yeah, it's probably not going to be over.
Well, they
So,
did go over. They went slightly over.
Yeah,
no,
but-
no, they went slightly
They
under.
were under, I
They
was
went,
gonna
yeah, they just
I
went
don't
like
think
2
I've
minutes
ever
under.
seen them go over. I mean, I don't watch it religiously, but
Yeah, and
I
it was
think they
Huber.
estimate high.
Huber he nailed that bet. That was good. Yeah. Okay. So anyway, what you win for doing this is the right and responsibility to reveal your Twitter handle. You need to tell us a video of game trailers that you want to promote this week, and you get the final word of anything you disagreed with that was spoken out loud during this podcast. You get the final word on that, and then finally you get to sign off with your trademark.
That's a lot of stuff to remember. I need to write
I'll
it
help you
down.
through each one.
Okay.
But first is right and responsibility to reveal your Twitter handle.
I'm at Mattias14.
Correct.
Spelled like it sounds.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Probably. I don't know. I haven't checked lately. What
Well,
was
it
the
could
next
be
one?
like Mattias is IUS.
Yeah.
Like gaseous is
Mattius
Yeah.
14. There you go. Follow me if you like hockey, I guess. What else was there?
Video that you like
Crap.
promote.
We're going up tonight.
Yes. Out within hours.
Well, recommend this video.
I
Don't
know,
recommend
I
this
thought
video.
about
Not
that.
like
It's a little
that.
too
Watch it
meta.
Don't do that.
again.
Yeah. Oh, but it's got to be on.
No, it can be definitely things in the pipeline. Oh wait, you have a video. What was it? What's your idea?
But it has to be like a GT original video.
We'll make an exception. What's up?
I could try and make it before the day is done. I don't know. We'll see.
What do you
if
have
it's
to-
on the friggin' homepage, no, it won't be on the homepage, but maybe we'll put it in a link in YouTube or whatever. I want people to go and check out just any little gameplay footage they could find of Star Tropics on NES. That game is awesome,
Okay.
and I think we can make it happen.
All right.
I think that
have a
Star
card.
Tropics can be a
And we
launch
have that-
game
we
for
have
the
that-
NX. No.
We have that NES with the HDMI cable.
At the very least, just check out like the main theme because it's super, super jolly and cool, and I think more people should know about it. I think Star Tropics 1 is on the Virtual Console, both Wii and
Really?
Wii U. I know it's on the Wii. I had it on the Wii. I'm confident it is on the Wii.
Cool.
But check that out. It's pretty awesome. What was next?
Final word.
Star Fox does not suck. Are we done?
Sign off. Your traditional sign off.
Trademark sign off.
Oh, I don't have one.
Trademark sign off.
You don't have a trademark sign off?
No, I didn't know I needed one.
Everyone has a trademark sign
Star
off.
Fox does not suck could be your sign off.
Ooh, yeah.
Well,
if you
no.
just wave as you say it, it
No,
works.
because
yeah.
Yeah, because
It's
he
in a
needs to use
response.
this next time.
Yeah.
Crap. I didn't know this. There.
Log in, get kills, get on with your life.
Take the hit to make the play is a good one. That's a good Blair
That's-
original.
I just said it though. That's like a concept. That's not a. I
It's a
didn't
sign
invent
off,
that.
man. Yeah. Take the hit to make the play. As long
No,
as you-
I got. All right,
Okay.
I got one. Keep your stick on the ice.
I love.